The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signs into law the Real Property Violation and Assessment Reform Act and the measure to create the Negros Island region. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission says espionage within POGOs is possible after the discovery of Chinese military and police uniforms in Porac, Pampanga. The Department of Justice assures that they are closely watching the house arrest of former Congressman Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr. in Timor-Leste. And we will discover why North Korean leader Kim Jong Un claimed invisible ties with Russia ahead of the anticipated visit of President Vladimir Putin. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, the 13th of June, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Mavian Dog. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed the Negros Island Region Act, putting Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor in one region. The president signed into law the Real Property Violation and Assessment Reform Act, or RP-VARA. Nel Maribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed the measure on Thursday, June 13, seeking to create the Negros Island Region or NIR. The NIR Act, which establishes the Negros Island Region, will unify the provinces of Negros Occidental, including Bacolod City, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor, to promote administration decentralization, strengthen local autonomy, and accelerate economic, cultural, and social development.
This union is long overdue and makes very practical sense, especially in the Negros Island, where people are located on one island but are governed under separate administrative regions.
President Marcos also cited the uneven development of the Negros provinces despite sharing the same resources and industries.
Equally glaring is the uneven growth and the disparity of funding between the two provinces, which share many of the same natural resources and industries, such as sugar, tourism, renewable energy.
PBBM also signed into law the Real Property Valuation and Assessment Reform Act, or RP-VARA. The RP-VARA aims to streamline, unify, and enhance the real property valuation and assessment system. The chief executive said that under the law, a 2-year amnesty on interest and penalties for taxpayers with unpaid real property tax will be adopted to instill and encourage long-term and consistent tax compliance among taxpayers. The new law, President Marcos also stated, is one of his administration's priority legislations and is included in the common legislative agenda. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Among the topics discussed in the first meeting between House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero was the proposal to amend the Rice Tarification Law, or RTL. The leadership of both houses of Congress also agreed to strengthen their relationship and cooperation for the priority proposals of the Marcos administration. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
On Thursday, June 13, the first official meeting between the leadership of the two houses of Congress took place following the change of leadership in the Senate. According to House Speaker Martin Romualdez, their meeting with Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero symbolizes the establishment of a stronger relationship and cooperation between the two chambers of Congress. This is to immediately pass the priority legislative proposals of the Marcos administration. Among the topics discussed was the proposal for amendments to the Rice Tarification Law, or RTL, as a top priority. The Office of the Speaker said the Senate leadership is open to the passage of the bill. Today's meeting is preliminary to the forthcoming convening of the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council or LEDAC scheduled for June 25. Present in today's meeting are House Majority Leader Jose Dalipe and Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino.
It gives us the opportunity to align our priorities, being able to talk closely on what of the legislative measures we should prioritize and pass right away. So this is an opportunity for us, for both houses, to deepen our working relationship with one another.
Also present were House Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Don Gonzales, Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez, House Committee on Appropriations Chairperson Elizalde Co, and House Secretary General Reginald Velasco. Presidential Legislative Liaison Office Secretary Mark Leandro Mendoza was also present, along with several staff members from the Office of the Executive Secretary, the Chief of Staff in the Office of Senate President Escudero, and others. The House of Representatives completed the priority legislation and measures of the Administration for the State of the Nation Address or SONA of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. before the adjournment of Congress on May 24, 2024. However, some of these measures are still pending in the Senate. Nevertheless, during their meeting, Speaker Romualdez and SP Escudero once again committed to the legislative agenda of the PBBM administration. The leadership of the House also trusts its Senate counterpart to expedite the legislative process. The meeting between the two congressional leaders took place behind closed doors at the Aguado residence in Malacañang. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission is not dismissing the possibility of espionage within Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGOs. This comes after the discovery of Chinese military and police uniforms during a search operation at an illegal POGO facility in Porac, Pampanga. Ryan Lacanlale will tell us why.
It will be a significant problem for the national security if it is proven that Chinese spies have infiltrated POGO hubs in the country. This follows the discovery of more Chinese military uniforms and a police service medal in the search operation at the illegal POGO in Porac, Pampanga yesterday, June 12.
So, medyo malaking problema po ito para sa bayan natin kung mapatotohanan natin na meron nga nakapasok na mga espiya sa mga scam farms na ito.
If these items are authentic, the PAOCC is considered two things. First, there might be a veteran police officer or soldier from China working at Lucky South 99. And the second possibility is that there are spies hiding in the POGO hubs.
Yung isa ay yung pinakamalala, baka naman meron nga talagang military spies na embedded dito sa ating mga illegal na mga online gaming farms na ito. Bear in mind, these are scam farms. These are what I dub as conduits of money laundering, no?
Some of the uniforms found in the raided compound are old.
We've talked to military experts from within the intelligence communities, and apparently they agree na ito nga po ay mga authentic na mga military People's Liberation Army uniforms. But then again, tama po kayo, dated na po ito. Meaning to say, mga lumang mga uniforme. So po pwede mga veterano nga po ang mga may-ari nito.
However, until there is concrete evidence of espionage, the PAOCC will maintain that these items are merely part of a collection. Meanwhile, the identity of the owner of the Lucky South 99 has been identified. Although it has not yet been made public, authorities are building a strong case against them.
Nakita na po natin kung sino yung mga pangalan, well, based on the documents that we have obtained from the search, as well as the other documents that we have obtained from our partner agencies, as well as we've also been able to retrieve certain other evidence that would point to the so-called beneficial owners, kasi the owners on paper do not necessarily reflect the actual owners.
Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Romel Francisco Marbil issues a stern warning against erring cops following a series of arrests of police officers involved in illegal activities. In a strong statement, General Marbil expressed his deep dissatisfaction with recent incidents involving police officers in crimes such as kidnapping, carjacking, moonlighting, and even the murder of their fellow officers. He assured the public that these erring officers will not only be dismissed from service, but will also face imprisonment for tarnishing the reputation of the PNP. Additionally, commanders of the implicated officers will be subjected to investigation.
We make sure that yung mga people na mga police natin involved, hindi na po sila makakabalik ng serbisyo at makukulong po sila. Yun po yung gusto natin. Pag kami na-involved na police, kasama na rin po yung commander. We put accountability on the commanders. Meron silang accountability and responsibility to look after their men. Ayaw po natin one-strike policy. No? Hindi po kami punitive. Kami gusto lang po natin sa accountability and responsibility sa bawat officers po natin.
Further illustrating the crackdown, National Capital Region Police Officer NCRPO Director Police Major General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. revealed that since 2023, more than 500 police officers in the NCRPO have been dismissed from the service. Former Congressman Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr. has been placed under house arrest in Timor-Leste. According to the decision of the Court of Appeals there, the former lawmaker remains a flight risk as he faces multiple murder charges in the Philippines. In a statement, the Department of Justice said Teves will be monitored 24 hours a day, with only family members allowed to visit him. The DOJ assured that they are closely watching the situation to ensure all procedures are appropriate and in accordance with the law. And for the news abroad, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un claims invisible ties with Russia ahead of the anticipated visit of President Vladimir Putin. RK Liorca will give us the details live. Yes, good evening, RK.
Good evening, Maeve. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un declares an unbreakable alliance with Russia following reports of Russian President Vladimir Putin's upcoming visit to North Korea and Vietnam. Kim described his country as an invincible comrade in arms with Russia. In honor of Russia's National Day, Kim mentioned that his previous meeting with Putin at a Russian space launch facility strengthened their century-old strategic relationship. Pyongyang and Moscow have significantly strengthened diplomatic and security ties, hosting various governmental, parliamentary, and other delegations in recent months. The Kremlin expressed a desire to enhance cooperation with North Korea in all areas, but has not confirmed the date of Putin's visit, while a group of North Korean public security officials was scheduled to visit Russia this week. Furthermore, a Vietnamese official mentioned that Putin's trip to Vietnam was planned for June 19 and 20, though it has yet to be confirmed. Meanwhile, United States and South Korean officials have accused North Korea of supplying weapons to Russia to aid its war in Ukraine in exchange for technological assistance with its nuclear and missile programs. Back to you, Maeve.
Thank you, RK Liorca, live from Thailand. We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Numerous schools in the country are struggling with a lack of access to essential books and educational modules, causing significant concerns among educators who worry about the quality of education their students are receiving. Adding to these concerns, a group of teachers is voicing their fears that if gadgets are completely banned in schools, accessibility to learning materials will be further reduced. Jed Nedesina details why.
The Teachers Dignity Coalition, or TDC, has shared concern over the potential consequences of a permanent ban on gadgets and cell phones in school. They point to a visible problem, the lack of learning materials. Without these devices, students' access to essential educational resources could be severely hindered.
So anong mangyayari kapag totally we ban the use of cell phones? Yung accessibility, no? Magkakaroon ng problema yung mga bata sa accessibility, no, doon sa learning materials, no, na dapat sana ay very accessible sa kanila.
TDC Chairperson Benjo Basas elaborated that cell phones could be a significant asset, especially during these times when many schools face shortages of books and modules.
Cellphone is a super gadget, no? Pwede siyang pagtipunan, ano, ng lahat ng mga modules, no? Lahat ng entire year, no, na module ay pwede diyan. Ngayon po, no, dahil meron tayong lack of materials, no, sa Department of Education, hindi naman talaga nakakapag-provide ng mga modules, no, sa lahat ng mga pagtal, hindi nakakapag-provide ng libro, no, ng mga textbooks, no, at iba pa, no. Nagiging dependent tayo, no, doon sa soft copy, no, ng mga modules natin.
Gadgets are a great help because in today's time, it is one of the main sources of information for students. In addition to this, he said it is also difficult for other teachers if the children have nothing to use during classes.
Mahirap siya, no, kasi parang nagtuturo ka rin sa mga bata na walang libro, no. That would be the same, no, kasi yun nga yung problema natin, no. Kaya nga kami nagre-raise ng concern dito dahil wala naman talagang libro yung mga bata. At ang alternative nila ay itong modules, no, na available, no, online.
Hence, they wanted to have a consultation and discussions regarding the proposed ban on gadgets or cell phones in schools.
Kami po ay nakikiisa, no, doon sa diwa, no, sa intention, ano, sa mabuting intention, no, ng ating Senator Gatchalian, no. Gayunpaman ay ang gusto po namin talaga ay magkaroon pa dito, no, ng further consultations, no, ng mga pag-uusap, no, between the legislators, no, the Department of Education, no, stakeholders, parents, and of course our teachers, pati yung mga bata, no. Tingnan natin, ano, kung ano ba yung kanilang magiging opinion at sentimiento hinggil dito.
Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero shares his sentiment over a trending video of him and First Lady Liza Marcos. In Vindonyo at the Malacanang yesterday, June 12, the First Lady was caught sipping from Escudero's glass of wine. The clip went viral on social media, with some netizens saying that what the First Lady did was disrespectful. According to Escudero, he considers waiting on a lady to be gentlemanly, while others might view it as a sign of submissiveness. For the Senate chief, being a gentleman will never go old-fashioned. Escudero adds people should not be displeased with any opportunity to be a gentleman to any woman or lady. Evacuees in the Castellana Negros Occidental are facing a range of health concerns, with many reports indicating that stress is a major factor. Meanwhile, all evacuees from Barangay Mansalao have been granted permission to return home. Gladys Tuabi details why.
Flu-like symptoms including fever, headache, cough, and colds are the common health concerns experienced by evacuees in La Castellana Negros Occidental. However, this is said to be stress-related, with their current situation following the eruption of Mount Canlaon, and with the change of weather, hence all are still manageable.
DOH, PHO, they're closely monitoring the health condition of our constituents inside the evacuation center. The LGU also purchased the required na mga medicine based on the consultation na ginawa po ng ating mga doktor.
Medical consultation, free medicine, and augmentation of personnel are available in the evacuation centers. Meanwhile, more than 1,000 evacuees from Mansalanao were already allowed to go home, leaving evacuation centers with 3,000 evacuees left coming from other barangays near the volcano.
Only man sila now, it's because it's part naman sa danger zone, and then they're affected by ashes and tepra. Sila yung naunang nag-evacuate. So sinasis naman po ng health, at saka sa Buligi na pwede na sila pinabigyan na sa ng face mask at saka baon nila. Yung mga food packs na pinadala natin sa kanila.
In Negros Island, La Castellana and Canlaon City remain under state of calamity. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, have yet recorded 100,000 million pesos worth of damage in agriculture. Gladys Tuabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg announced that the alliance is adjusting its nuclear arsenal to address security threats during a press conference in Budapest. Jane Robles will tell us why.
NATO Chief Jens Stoltenberg emphasized the alliance's readiness to adapt its capabilities to current security threats, citing Russia's recent nuclear rhetoric and drills. The head of NATO's Nuclear Planning Committee will meet for 2 days in Brussels. During the remarks, he underlined nuclear weapons are the alliance's ultimate security guarantee and a way to uphold peace. Stoltenberg addressed the continuous evolution of its nuclear capabilities, noting that the Netherlands has announced its F-35 fighter jets are now equipped for nuclear tasks, and the U.S. is updating its nuclear arsenal stationed in Europe. The speaker mentioned numerous indications of possible threats in recent years and months, including increasing nuclear activities by Russia, provocative rhetoric, and increased nuclear exercises. Moreover, Russia has initiated the second stage of tactical nuclear weapon drills with Belarusian troops amid Western threats, a move backed by Putin's assertion of nuclear defense capabilities. Russia accuses the United States and European allies of escalating nuclear tension by providing Ukraine with billions of dollars worth of weapons, some of which are being used against Russian territory. Meanwhile, Stoltenberg also mentioned China's anticipated modernization of nuclear weapons, predicting a rise in missile numbers within years, many of which could reach NATO's territory. Jane Robles, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
NASA and Boeing have announced that the return of the Starliner spacecraft and its first astronaut crew from the International Space Station, or ISS, is now expected on June 18. This delay allows mission analysts to address issues that could impact the spacecraft's return. Originally scheduled to undock on Friday, June 14, Boeing CST-100 Starliner has faced several challenges, including a sticky oxidizer valve and multiple helium leaks in its propulsion system. Despite these setbacks, NASA and Boeing managed to resolve some issues during its 24-hour journey to the ISS. The spacecraft, which launched on June 5, is a critical test for certifying Starliner for regular flights. NASA officials are coordinating fixes, weather conditions, and ISS scheduling for a smooth return to Earth, aiming to land in the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico or other predetermined locations based on weather conditions. As security concerns mount in the Pacific, Chinese Premier Li Qiang starts his official visits to New Zealand and Australia. This marks the highest-level Chinese visit in New Zealand in 7 years. However, business representatives and experts from New Zealand and Australia are eyeing the visits as an opportunity to deepen the potential of bilateral economic and trade ties. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
On Thursday, June 13, China's Premier Li Qiang landed in New Zealand and was welcomed with a traditional Maori ceremony in the capital, Wellington, ahead of a meeting with the country's Prime Minister. New Zealand was the first Western nation to settle a free trade agreement with China back in 2008. China is still its largest export market for milk and agricultural products, with a two-way trade worth almost 23 billion US dollars. Now, New Zealand and China are marking the 10th anniversary of their comprehensive strategic partnership. This despite New Zealand's tough stance this year, calling out China for hacking the country's parliament and noting the growing threat China poses to regional security. However, New Zealand has largely avoided the recent trade disputes between its neighbor Australia and China. Instead, Prime Minister Christopher Luxon highlighted opportunities in areas of trade, energy, and climate change. In response, Lee acknowledged the increasingly complex regional and global dynamics, but stated that he is willing to have a frank exchange of views with Luxon. Lee added that the visit aims to affirm the fruitful China-New Zealand relations and brighten the prospects and expectations for future cooperation. Meanwhile, Chinese New Zealanders gathered in the city center to greet the premier and waved Chinese flags and played drums, while others held banners protesting China's treatment of its citizens. Over in Australia, Lee will visit Adelaide, where a pair of pandas are due to return to China. This so-called panda diplomacy hopes to smooth over a political dispute that resulted in Beijing's suspension of $13 billion in Australian agriculture and mineral exports between 2020 and 2023. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 21. It says, "And said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." And those are the reasons behind the news, June 13, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Mavian Dog. We serve the people, we give glory to God.